Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to give you my thoughts on the teams that I think will be at the top end of League One by the end of the season. In fact, it's my early predictions. Now, some teams already in the summer window have started to build some really good squads. So I thought, why don't I talk about the teams that I think will be competing at the top end of League One at the end of the season. Before I go into detail, can we drop a like on today's video? Let me know down in the video comments the teams you think will be competing at the top end of League One. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I make Luton and EFL content. So the first team that I think will be up there at the end of the season is Huddersfield. They finished 10th last season, and the one thing that they didn't do well last year was scoring goals. They missed a lot of chances. They weren't clinical in front of goal, and then they paid the price by letting a lot of counter-attacking goals in. Under new manager in Lee Grant, there's a big question mark there because how good is he going to do? There is a lot of expectation, I would say, now at Huddersfield due to how good they've recruited, which I'll talk about in a second. And with high expectations, that comes with a lot of pressure. Is Lee Grant going to handle it? It is Lee Grant's first job in management. He's had coaching experience elsewhere. So I'm interested to see what he actually does, but he might make a lot of mistakes. It is his first job in management, so it might not be as easy as maybe some fans are expecting, but I do expect Huddersfield, with how they're recruited, to be up there. And if we look at the recruitment, Sean Rowland, very good defender at Lincoln. Joe Lowe, fantastic season at Wycombe. Another defender, Ryan Ledson, championship experience at Preston, dropping down to League One. Marcus Harness, again, someone with championship experience, dropping down to League One. They got Wallace from Millwall. Again, another defender with championship experience. Josh Feeney, who I felt had a very good loan spell at Shrewsbury last season, despite the relegation. And as I'm recording this video, I don't think it's been made official yet, but they're trying to sign Goodman, the goalkeeper who was on loan at AFC Wimbledon last season and helped them win promotion from Crystal Palace. So that is a very good window so far, and I'm sure they're going to add a couple more players to it. And that's without talking about some of the players they've already got at the football club, like Joe Taylor, who I really like, who never got a chance at Luton. And I think if you can play a certain style of football and get Joe Taylor in the right positions, you're going to score goals and solve the problems from last season. The next club that I think will be competing at the top end of League One is Bolton. Poor season last year. Ian Evatt did eventually get the sack. Probably ended up being the manager far too long. I know Bolton fans wanted him gone a lot sooner. The year before, they did get to the playoff final in League One. They did get beat by Oxford, who are now still a championship side. And yeah, I think the fans' expectation was to kind of repeat that or to do one better and win promotion. That obviously didn't go to plan. A manager departure ended up happening, and they've brought in Stephen Schumacher, who knows the league extremely well, who won League One with Plymouth, and I do think that is a very good appointment. If we have a look at the transfers that they've made so far, Sam Dolby, who was scoring goals in the Scottish Premiership, I think is a good signing up top, and Richard Taylor from St Mirren, who turned down a contract with them to come and play League One. And also they got Teddy Sharman-Lowe, very good loan spell with Doncaster in League Two last season. So look, a couple of decent additions. They've also got a few good players at the club. I like McAtee up top for Bolton. So I expect them to be competing at the top end. Big club in League One. So yeah, I think there's a lot of expectation at that football club. The next team that I think will be competing at the top end of League One is Reading. I thought Reading had a fantastic season last year despite the off-the-field problems. They've now got that sorted, which is great. They've got rid of that owner who didn't really care. New ownership, and that has brought a really good feel factor to the football club. Positive momentum, which hopefully that they can bring and take it onto the pitch and get some decent results. I know they're going to have more fans back into the stadium because fans were boycotting under the previous ownership. So with that good feel factor back at the football club, can that translate to on the pitch? I thought what they did last season with the previous ownership and also with Ruben Sellers leaving the football club midway through the year was a fantastic season, just finishing outside those playoff positions. They didn't allow off the field antics to impact on the pitch, and if they can just add, a few more additions, get some really good loan signings in, I can expect to see Reading competing at the top end. They've already made a signing in O'Connor from Lincoln, who had a great season last year in defence. So yeah, I expect more signings to be made in the near future. And they also managed to keep some of their players who were out of contract as well, who could have easily have gone elsewhere. The next team that I think will be competing at the top end of League One is Stockport. If you look at recent years, Stockport have always improved on the previous season, especially in the last, I want to say, 10 to 12 years. Dave Challinor is a great manager who knows how to build a really good team. Last year, yes, there might have been expectation due to Stockport having a bit more money compared to the other League One clubs. But with Wrexham and also Birmingham, with their money as well, it was going to be difficult. Unfortunately for Stockport, they did lose against Leyton Orient in the semi-finals. But I'm pretty sure Dave Challinor, with his experience of always competing at the top end of a division, he will identify what needs to be worked on and also what areas need to be improved. They've already made two good signings, in my opinion. They've signed Teo Eden, the left back at Peterborough, and also Joseph Aluwu. I probably got the name completely wrong there, but he had a great season at Doncaster last year. The next team I want to talk about is Plymouth Argyle. I thought the appointment of Tom Cleverley was a very good appointment. I don't think they expected their previous manager to leave to go to Schalke, but when Schalke come calling, you're going to go. 60k fans, you're just going to leave. I know it's the second division in Germany, but I understand why Plymouth fans are annoyed, because he probably made a lot of promises to the Plymouth board in terms of recruitment and so on. And yeah, he's gone very quickly. But they brought in Tom Cleverley, who achieved way above expectations at Watford, in my opinion. The squad at Watford, I don't think was any good. So Tom Cleverley done a very good job. And of course, Watford decided to sack him. But so far, Plymouth, they've made a couple of decent additions, in my opinion. Jamie Patterson, Championship experience, dropping down to League One. And Caleb Waltz signing from their rivals, Exeter, as well. So I do expect Tom Cleverley to push these current group of players which he has at the football club to the very max, and they'll be competing at the top end of League One. And the last club that I also think will be competing in those playoff positions and potentially for the top two spots is my team, Luton. I think if we look at the squad itself, it's more than capable of winning promotion. Lots of championship experience. At the moment with Luton, there's a lot of question marks over certain players' futures. Hopefully that will be sorted in the next couple of weeks. But despite that, I think the squad is more than capable of competing at the top end of League One. We've made two really good signings in Cal Naismith and also George Saville, dropping down from the Championship to League One. They provide leadership and experience. And we've also got Matt Bloomfield, who done a fantastic job with Wycombe before he left to join us in the Championship. So if he replicates what he did with Wycombe at Luton in League One, I can see us being at the top end of the division. Now, you might have realised that I haven't mentioned Cardiff. I don't think Cardiff are going to finish in the top six in this upcoming year. I don't have a good feeling about their squad. I'm also very unsure with their head coach. He's very highly ranked amongst the EFL and amongst the football community, but I'm not too sure on him. And yeah, I just don't think their players are better than the squads I've already spoken about in this video. I've also picked a couple of dark horses that I think might knock a couple of the teams I've mentioned out of those playoff positions if they have a good year. And I think they will have a good year in Port Vale and Bradford. Port Vale, their manager, Darren Moore, he won promotion out of League One with Sheffield Wednesday, so he knows the league quite well. And I also think they've made a couple of decent additions. And then Bradford, Graham Alexander, also knows League One, also has made a couple of decent additions. And I feel like as well, when you've just been promoted from, the division below, you bring that positive momentum, that positive energy to the new year, and that could help them, climb up the table. So I do think Port Vale and Bradford are two teams to watch out for in this upcoming season. So that is the end of today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Drop a like on today's video if you did. Let me know down in the video comments what teams you think will be competing at the top end of League One to try and win promotion to the Championship. And if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.